Cyril was moving so well, and his defense was so good, Tom couldn't get on him.
I didn't want to make it out now, but all the guys were playing.
But, like, I mean, then you see the slow-mo replay. Yeah, I mean,
But your eyes
I mean,
swell,
it's
Là, il vient pas tout de suite. Il y a d'abord Oumar, après il y a Mackenzie. Et après, peut-être qu'on aura quelqu'un, mais si Tom il est à l'hôpital, ils vont pas faire venir Cyril. Il y a même peut-être Nana. On l'a pas vu. Ce qui s'est passé, ça se trouve. Tom, je pense pas qu'on l'aura.
Umar, I guess, it's been a bit since the fight ended. Tougher fight than I think a lot of people expected. I guess physically, how are you feeling, and how do you think the fight played out in there?
I feel great, and I'm thankful to God. I win tonight, and I understand I have to go back to Dagestan, rest 1 week, maybe 2 weeks maximum, and I will have to come back to gym.
It seems you said you might have underestimated him in there. So what exactly did Mario have that maybe you weren't ready for, or he was better at than you expected?
I think I will control him a little better on the ground and pound. And he was good. He tried to always stand up.
The submission in the first round he had, it looked like an ankle or toe hold or something. How deep was that on your foot?
It was not even close because, doing some submission in MMA, it's very hard because you can punch there, with legs. In Jiu-Jitsu, I understand, like you taking and you try to block, he can't punch you. But in MMA, it's very hard, and I always, in the training, I always move like snake with legs. I have good stretch, and I even not care about it.
The knee that he hit you with, was that just you were out of place, or did he catch you off guard or anything?
I will work a lot. I have this big mistake. I always go down, I do it a lot of time, and even the gym coach, Habib, they all the time told to me, don't do this, you have to fix this, you have to fix this. And today I pay for it, and we're not perfect, right? But we will try to become.
What did Habib say about your performance?
He said, good job. I said, we win. And he said to me, you have a lot of things what we can show, what you can do. You have space for the grow up. Today we're done, but we're not finished.
And in terms of your career, I think a lot of people want to see you fight for the title again, especially if it's Merab. If Merab wins and wants a quick turnaround for February before Ramadan, would you be happy with that, or are you hoping to wait for the springtime?
Of course, I will be happy. I will be even thankful. And we'll see what's gonna next. If it's not gonna happen before Ramadan, if they will give it to me other fight, maybe with Figueiredo or Aymani Zahabi, with anybody else, I will happy to fight, because today I become a little better in cage, because it's experience. You need to spend a lot of time in the cage to feel it there, like at home. Feel confidence, feel arena, feel fans. And I won't fight. I don't have anything else. I just have sleep, eat, train, repeat.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Умар, поздравляю тебя с победой. Очень крутой бой получился. Можешь еще раз на русском рассказать, что по поводу болевого, который он пытался тебе сделать на ногу, скрутку пятки, и плюс по колену тоже. Вот это было таких два самых драматичных момента в бою. Расскажи о них.
Congratulations, it was a great fight, really cool fight. And could you do it one more time, just in Russian, regarding the submission that he was trying to put you in, the heel hook, and also the knee mistake you were talking about? Just do it in Russian.
Когда он полез на пятку, я вообще даже не переживал, потому что это такая позиция, в которой в зале тоже пытаются сделать. Я от нее всегда выкручиваюсь, и это не джиу-джитсу, это не грэпплинг. Это не грэпплинг, потому что когда ты заходишь на ногу и тебя бьют, очень тяжело ее делать. Поэтому такого, бывает, вот такой настороженности жесткой у меня не было. И плюс он даже не потянул. У меня растяжка неплохая, и мне всегда было тяжело ее делать. Мне на пятке делать тяжело было всегда. Я от них хорошо уходил. Относительно колена, которое я пропустил, у меня такой, можно сказать, глюк есть в обороне, в стойке. Вот у меня вот это движение, оно, знаешь, такая привычная, мне ее надо убрать, мне нужно будет... Скорее всего, буду очень много над этим работать, чтобы не туда уходить вниз, а шаг назад делать. В этот раз как-то я не успел ее убрать. Но от нее нужно будет избавиться, это 100%. Я думаю, мои другие соперники это увидят, все, с кем я буду драться, они могут и этим воспользоваться. От этого надо избавиться. И я постараюсь, знаешь, не все мы идеальные, но будем пытаться стать таким.
Это был твой первый бой после поражения в карьере. И вот отличалось ли как-то, когда ты выходил на бой, ощущение, потому что до этого было 18 боев, когда ты побеждал и чувствовал себя, да, непобежденным, а вот отличалось ли в этот раз как-то ощущение?
This was the first fight you came out to after your first and only loss in your career. You were 18-0 before that. Was there a different feeling coming out here, knowing that you now have one loss behind you, or was it the same feeling before?
Честно сказать, нет. Я и раньше, когда выходил без проигрышей, я на это не зацикливался. Мне не было дела, проигрывал я до этого или нет. Потому что проигрыш – это часть жизни. Это не то, с чем человек не сталкивается. Я очень много проигрывал в любительской карьере. Я очень много проигрывал в детстве. Я вообще ничто не выигрывал. Всегда был в тройке, там, второй, третий. Поэтому... Знаешь, проиграть не страшно, страшно сломаться, не вернуться. И у меня в голове вот какой-то зацикленности на том, что вот на меня будут смотреть, я буду возвращаться, как вообще ноль. Я знал, что я подготовился к бою, я уповал на Всевышнего, и верил в свою победу, и работал, делал то, что делал в зале, знаешь. Я этот бой не выиграл сегодня. Я этот бой выигрывал на протяжении 5-6 месяцев своей подготовки. Когда я старался первым прибегать на сборах своих, когда я пытался выкладываться на груши, выкладываться в спаррингах, выкладываться в борьбе, когда я 1000 раз проходил в одну и ту же ногу. Этот бой я выигрывал там. А сегодня это была заключительная работа, которой просто нужно было собрать все воедино.
You know, no, I never really thought about the record, whether I had a 0 next to my name or one loss next to my name. I never really thought about that. I had my work cut out. I knew what I had to do. I prepared for the fight. And, you know, losing is part of life. You know, we always lose at something. I lost a lot when I was an amateur. When I was a kid, I didn't win anything at all, but that's not something I thought. And it's not about losing. It's that you don't break, right? You can lose, but the thing is you do not break. And this fight today, I did not win it today. The fight that I won, I was winning for 5-6 months of my camp. For every time that I was the first person to get to the camp, for every time I did reps and reps and reps with the same thing, for every time I went down to get the single leg or double leg. So tonight, what you saw was basically just the conclusion of the victory that lasted for 5-6 months.
И последнее от меня. Ты сегодня, ну, как и раньше, был в повязке на руке, которая, как я помню, посвящена Абдулманапу Нурмагомедову. Можешь немножко рассказать вообще про историю этой поездки? Ты единственный из команды, кто так делает, вот, и, может быть, тоже у тебя есть понимание, то есть до конца карьеры ты будешь в ней ходить или нет?
Once again, today you were out there with the patch on your arm, which I understand is dedicated to your late coach, Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov. So I wanted to know about it, and are you pretty much the only one in the team who does it, and are you considering to do this for the rest of your career?
Когда мне назначили бой, дебют с Сергеем Морозовым, это было еще летом. Ну, только ковид был, все болели, и назначенный бой был в начале лета. И я должен был, я в Москве был. Мы уже прилетели в Москву и должны были вылететь в Абу-Даби, и дяди не стало. И я, наверное, был, скорее всего, первым его учеником, который подрался в UFC. После того, как его не стало, пусть Аллах над ним смилуется. И UFC дали мне эту повязку. Я никого не просил, я об этом не говорил. Но UFC сами провели такую инициативу, и они принесли это как-то в честь дяди. И я подумал, почему бы память о своем дяде не пронести всю свою карьеру. Здесь нет ничего такого, знаешь, мистического или еще что-то. Это просто вот мне хочется помнить о нем. И я-то его не забываю никогда. Просто хочется пронести, вот, потому что, знаешь, он очень много сил вкладывал в меня, в моего брата, всю нашу семью, молодежь, я имею в виду, всех братишек, братьев. Он был очень мудрым человеком, который учил не только, как вести себя в зале. Вот мне это больше всего в нем нравилось. Это не был просто тренер, который тебе показывает проход ноги. Это был человек, который проведет тебя всю твою жизнь, который тебе скажет, как себя на улице вести. И моя любимая его цитата для меня всегда была, что безмозглый человек, которого натренировали, которому дали силу, опасен для общества. Человек должен быть умным. Спасибо.
So when my debut was just scheduled back in the COVID time, it was the summer after COVID started. I was scheduled for a debut against Sergei Morozov. It was in Moscow, and once we flew out to Moscow, once we got to Moscow that summer, this is when my uncle passed, and so I was the first student probably from the school of Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov who fought after his passing, and it was actually the UFC who got me the patch and gave me that patch that I wear still to this day. And it wasn't us; it was the initiative that the UFC had for me to have it. And so I decided then that why not? Why don't I wear this patch always? Because I want to remember my uncle. Obviously, I think about him all the time. I don't forget about him, but I want to remember him because there's nothing mystical. It's not superstitious. It's just I want to honor him every time I go out there. And you know, he was more than just a teacher. He was more than just a coach. More than the person who just showed you how to do a double leg. He was somebody who would guide you through life. He was somebody who would teach you. He dedicated a lot of time, a lot of his strength, a lot of his wisdom to my family, to myself, to my brothers, to all of the younger kids. He was somebody who taught us how to behave, how to be more than just in the gym. And you know, he had this saying. He said that a stupid person with a lot of skill or with a lot of strength is very dangerous for the society. So it's very important for us to be smart, to be humble and to be smart. And I want to dedicate it to him.
Умар, поздравляю тебя с победой. Вот ты всю неделю эту выглядел, ну, на виду, по крайней мере, да, ментально на другом уровне. Ты в бою выглядел физически на другом уровне, потому что ты, по сути, победил человека с серией из 8 побед. Ты преодолел трудности в поединке, ты себя показал по-другому. И интересно, вот как ты думаешь, понятно, что нет сослагательных наклонений, но тем не менее, вот тот Умар, который был сегодня в клетке, как бы подрался с Мерабом Гуришвили?
Mentally, this entire week you were on a different level. You were stronger mentally. Today you defeated somebody who was on an 8-fight winning streak. It seemed as though you were confident in yourself the entire week. And so, you know, we can't obviously say shoulda, coulda, woulda, but if you take this Umar that we saw today and we had him fight Merab back then, how do you think the fight would have gone?
В нашей жизни нету места, скорее всего. Ну, я так живу, если бы. вот это если бы нам мешает отпустить то, что уже прошло. Если он выиграет, если у нас будет следующий бой, самое лучшее, что я могу сделать, это быть немногословным, а показать, как я подерусь с ним. У меня, я думаю, будет достаточно времени еще лучше подготовиться. Конечно, я как мужчина в 29, в 30, 31, 32, это те годы, в которых ты еще больше возмужаешь, ты крепчаешь, кости становятся крепче, силы больше становится. Поэтому единственное, что мне остается делать, это готовиться упорно, тренироваться и выйти уже в клетку и показать, как я с ним подерусь, как я с ним разделаюсь. Да, конечно, мне очень сильно хочется подраться, мне хочется закрыть свое поражение. И посмотрим, что случится. Будет, что будет, но я буду готов. Я вот это знаю точно, независимо от того, кто будет следующий оппонент, с кем я буду драться, я буду готов, иншаллах.
You know, this what could have been or what should have been, I don't live my life by that, you know, because if anybody lives their life by what could have been, it stops them from moving forward and from growing. So instead of reminiscing on that, what I'd like to say is that if I do get the chance and if there is going to be a rematch, I'm going to be ready and I'm going to show what I can do. I have to show with my actions, not with my words. Of course, I'll be ready for that. I'll have more time to prepare for it. And then you'll see what I can do. And it doesn't matter. And right now I'm 29. You know, if it's 29, 30, 31, you grow up, you get into your man strength, so to speak. Your bones get more dense. You find this strength in you. So I'm just getting stronger. And so whoever it's going to be, whenever there is a chance for me to fight next, they'll see that I am already better than I was today.
И последний вопрос от меня. Вот Павел Дуров сегодня был на арене перед твоим боем, по-моему, он ушел в раздевалку, увидели фотографию с Хабибом. Общались ли вы с ним? Что такая знаковая персона, в принципе, для всего мира.
Pavel Durov was here today. Right before your fight, he went into your locker room. I think they said hi with Khabib. Did you speak to him at all, and what did you talk about?
Честно сказать, я разминался, там уже выходил. Первый бой в прелимах, который вот уже начался, и у меня времени не было так не поговорить, не спросить там что-то. Конечно, это интересная личность, которая, я думаю, всему миру интересен. Так. Хотел, знаешь, как у меня же группа есть в Телеграме, можно было ему сказать, чтобы он туда галочку дал. Поэтому не успел так-то поговорить, не то чтобы вот времени не было, я разминался, надо было успеть, потому что в тяжах, ты же знаешь, могут очень быстро бои заканчиваться. Поэтому фокус был на подготовке, вот, на разминке.
You know, honestly, I was warming up when he came in, and I didn't get a chance to speak to him or kind of communicate to him at all, maybe ask him anything. Obviously, he's a very interesting person. He's an important person. I'm sure everybody would like to talk to him and you know, kind of pick his brain. But I didn't have a chance to do that because I was warming up. You know, I do have a Telegram channel, so it would be great to ask him to maybe, you know, give me a check mark in there or something like that. But unfortunately, I didn't have the time because with the heavyweights that were fighting before me, you never know, everything can end in, you know, in one shot. So there was no time really to dilly-dally. I had to warm up and get ready for my fight.
Умар, поздравляю с победой. Продолжая тему Павла Дурова, появилось видео, как он реагирует на объявление твоей победы. Он поддержал, похлопал. Насколько приятно, что этот человек тоже как-то болел за тебя.
In continuation of speaking about Pavel Durov, once your victory was announced, they showed him, and you could see there's a video that you could see that he's cheering for you. You know, he's supporting you. So, what do you feel about somebody as important as him rooting for you?
Конечно, это очень приятно, когда кто-то за тебя болеет, радуется твоей победе, и будем стараться выигрывать все свои бои, чтобы радовались все, кто нас поддерживает.
You know, it's great, of course, when somebody's rooting for you, when somebody's cheering for you, supports you. And what we'll do is we'll try to win all of our fights because this way more people can support us and cheer, and it feels really great. It's a good feeling.
А вот еще один человек тоже из технологий, это Марк Цукерберг, он тоже следит за UFC, и он поддерживает Мираба. Теперь у вас с Павлом есть своя связка, а у Мираба с Марком Цукербергом. Как тебе такая связка?
If you look at somebody else who is a big tech mogul is Mark Zuckerberg, and he supports Mirab. So now you and Mirab are connected in this way as well. He's got Facebook, he's got Telegram.
Ну, так сложилось. Думаю, нам нужно будет ему в своей сфере его обыгрывать, мне в своей сфере его переиграть.
I guess we'll have to have a technology battle. He'll have to battle better in his technology, I'll battle better in my technology, and I'll have to win.
Старое противостояние Россия против Америки.
Они будут всегда, мне кажется.
Умар, вопрос, если я тебя правильно понял, ты сказал, что после сегодняшнего поединка ты себя любителем почувствовал, особенно если вот так с Хабибом сравнивать, если я правильно понял. А вот, наверное, тебя, Усмана, наверное, более улучшенной версией Хабиба считали, потому что вы более разносторонние, там, и стойки, и так далее. Как ты думаешь, вот сколько тебе еще нужно времени потратить на тренировках, лет, может быть, чтобы иметь такой контроль, наверное, потому что вот я с Тажудином как раз разговаривал, из-под ислама Паре выходил, вот сейчас Мария Баутиста вышел, а вот из-под Хабиба вот никто практически не мог, я не припомню, что кто-то мог вот так вот взять, свипануть и выйти.
So, if I understood you correctly, today you said that you almost felt like an amateur compared to Habib. But, you know, a lot of people thought that you and your brother Usman were kind of like the better, new and improved version of Habib. But if you considered yourself an amateur, if I understood you correctly, how many more hours, weeks, years do you still have to put in the gym in order to be considered on his level? Because if I remember correctly, Poirier was able to get up from under Islam. Today, Mario was able to escape from under you. And as far as I remember, nobody was able to escape from under Khabib. So how much more do you have to go until you reached his level?
Смотри, вот разница между мной и Хабибом, я считаю, что да, у нас есть база тайского бокса, и Усмана, и у меня, мы посещали школу тайского бокса довольно-таки долгое время, и это было, когда мы были совсем юные, когда все запоминается, когда можно чему-то научить, и это останется. Разница между мной и Хабибом, я не буду за Усмана говорить, скажу за себя, в том, что вот Хабиб мог приехать домой, я же с ним был в Америке, он вот мне 20 лет было, 21, когда он готовился к своим боям, он мог приехать с тяжелой поездки, где он разговаривал, там интервью раздавал, медиа день, все, вот до 12 часов ночи он мог переодеться и пойти бегать. Он мог не успеть за целый день не сделать ни одну тренировку, но ночью на квартире побить лапы. Разница между нами в том, что он этому делу отдавал всего себя, а мы не отдаем. Надо быть честными. Я в 12 часов ночи из 10 раз могу 5 пойти, потому что я думаю, он же шел, он же это делал, он этого добился, мне тоже надо, если я хочу. Но только на вот эти 5 меня хватает. А он делал это и 10 из 10. Он был очень сильно фанатично, кто тренируется. И может поэтому, может быть, Всевышний дал ему эту физическую силу. Я не знаю почему. Я вот честно говорю, у меня в зале, в самом зале, у меня все получается. Я могу держать ребят, я могу болевые заходить, я могу душить. Вот именно в клетке, может быть, он и психологически, чем я, намного лучше. Именно в клетке мне не достает что-то. Буду я работать дальше и будет ли у меня получаться? Посмотрим. Я надеюсь, что будет. Я буду к этому стремиться. Когда вот я говорю, что Хабиб был на другом уровне, люди говорят, знаешь как, опять он. Да, ребят, дело не в том, что я хочу хвалить своего брата. Я Джон Джонса тоже хвалю, он один из лучших бойцов в истории. Просто вот этот человек, он не выходил и не дрался, он доминировал. Он ломал людей, он психологически, там, когда люди под ним оказывались, они как будто последний глоток хотели найти где-нибудь. Они искали этот глоток, они понимали, куда они попали. С нами люди дерутся, они до конца думают, что они могут у нас выиграть. Туда попадали, они все, они половина проходила, они сдавались, они понимали, с этим монстром нельзя ничего сделать. В этом разница.
You know, yeah, obviously both myself and Newsman, we have the Thai boxing base. Yeah, we started with Thai boxing, and we were pretty young, but we were at the age where you could learn something and you can hold those skills for later on. But I'm not going to talk about Usman. I'll talk for myself. The difference between myself and Habib is such, because I remember that, you know, I was maybe in my 20s. I was in the States with him, 20, 21, something like that. And I remember that Habib would have, you know, a whole day of stuff that he would do. But he would come home at midnight and he would go for a run, right? Or he would not train the entire day, but then he would come home and he would hit the mitts, right? He would do something, he would train. I would say that he was probably the most fanatic out of all people that I've ever seen. To him, he dedicated his entire self to that, right? Now, if I compare myself to him, I can come home, you know, late, and then at midnight, maybe 5 out of 10 times I'll go running, but not 10. Habib would go every single time, and so that's the difference. Maybe, you know, maybe Allah gave him the strength, this incredible strength, but when he came out to the cage, he didn't come out to fight. He came out to dominate, right? And people, when he would hold them down, when he would fight them, they would want to grab that as if they were trying to grab that last breath of air. Versus when they come out to fight against me, against my brother, they still think to the very end that they could win over us. They would never think that. They would already lose going into the cage against Habib. And so will I keep on working on myself? Will I keep improving myself? Yes, that's the idea. I hope that I'll be able to be better. But that is the difference on the level between him and myself. And people will say, hey, I always say my brother was the best or whatever. No, it's not just I'm saying it to him. I could say that about John Jones as well. You know, John Jones is a great fighter too. But when it comes to Habib, he was on a whole different level when it comes to fighting.
Thank you so much, guys. Большое спасибо всем. See you next time.
The attendance was 13,220 tonight. It was sold out. The Klein fight was fight of the night. Performance of the night was Walker and Quinlan. They all won $50,000.
All right, Dana. Well, obviously, not a way we want to see a main event end, any fight end. Give us your reaction to the eye poke and how it all went out.
I mean, I feel the way everybody feels. Great showing, shitty ending, you know. I think that after the Jones fight, a lot of people wrote Cyril Gane off. He looked damn good tonight.
Yeah, what did you think about the fight on its way to the eye poke? What did you take from those 4 minutes?
Good. Looked like we were in for a few rounds, and it was going to be a good fight.
It would seem obvious that a rematch is right on the cards. Would you like to just rebook these guys as soon as Tom is able to get back in there?
Yeah. Total pain in the ass, but yes.
Yeah. Have you got any medical update on Tom, or is it still too soon?
He's on his way to the hospital.
It's a bit of a weird question, right? It was ruled a no contest because of an unintentional eye poke. What does it take to make an eye poke intentional, and is there even a way you could ever prove that?
Who the fuck knows? Who gives a shit? What are you going to do?
I know we, tried to do new gloves before, and that kind of didn't work out. Is there anything we can do to stop these eye pokes? Would you ever look at maybe trying to change the gloves again, or is it just part of the sport? Just shit happens.
Yeah. I mean, no matter what you do with the glove, I mean, they're going to happen.
And what did you think for the rest of the card? Obviously, Mackenzie Dern winning the title. What did you think of that fight and that performance?
What did I think of the Dern fight? Yeah, those two literally beat the shit out of each other. Yeah.
Dinner here.
Hey.
What did you make of Umar, his performance in there? Because I think a lot of people, they wanted to see something spectacular from him after the Merab fight, and even he said maybe he even underestimated Mario. So it seems like that's the performance both guys kind of left as like higher in the eyes of fans.
What are you saying? The fans think that what?
They were equally as impressed with Mario's performance in there.
Yeah.
It seems like he had him scouted.
Well, I think going into that fight, we all expected him to do well. He was seriously motivated. He's a very talented guy, and he did well. It was a great fight. He did a great job. He didn't get dominated the way, that team dominates people.
The other heavyweight fight on the main card, Volkov, Jailton, Almeida. It seemed like even though Jailton got all the takedowns in control, he just wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
Even Ben Askren.
Listen, you.
Well, Ben Askren was like, "What is Jailton like allergic to throwing punches in there?" Was his exact phrase.
You can't win a fight by just laying on top of somebody. That's not how it works. So, I was actually very happy with the way the judges scored that fight.
Azamat Mirzakhanov, seems like you have another new contender at light heavyweight. Goldberg was in attendance. Yuri just won. You got another new guy, fresh face for the champion. What did you make of his performance?
I agree with you 100%. I mean, that was a jab, pretty much. The guy's incredibly powerful, and he's going to be fun to watch.
And I know you matchmake on Tuesdays, but Hamdi and Walter Walker were both back here, and they both want to fight each other on the UFC Qatar fight. Hamdi was actually back here watching the fight, and he's like, let's see if you can do that to me, essentially. Is that something you would consider booking?
I don't know. We'll talk about it on Tuesday.
Дана, поздравляю.
Hey, how are you?
Поздравляю вас с очередным турниром. Умара Нурмагомедова секундировал его брат Усман Нурмагомедов. Я видел, что вы очень тепло с ним поздоровались на церемонии взвешивания. Плюс сейчас еще один легковес из зала Хабиба Нурмагомедова пополнил ростер лиги PFL. И значит ли это, что Усмана в ближайшее время подпишет в UFC?
Congratulations on the great event. You had Umar Nurmagomedov fighting today, and in his corner with his brother Usman Nurmagomedov. You spoke to him at the weigh-ins, or you greeted him at the weigh-ins, and also we had another signee from the Contender Series, a lightweight from that same gym, right? So it seems as though you have a pretty tight relationship with that team. Can we expect Usman to also make it into the UFC soon?
We have an incredible relationship with them. I don't know the answer to that question. I would have to talk to the matchmakers.
У нас отличные отношения со всей командой и со всеми ними, но я не знаю, нужно будет поговорить с матчмейкерами.
Помимо UFC вы теперь занимаетесь и боксом, и вот совсем недавно Федор Емельяненко заявил, что хотел бы провести боксерский бой с Мирко Филипповичем Крокопом. Они, скорее всего, подерутся в Сербии. А хотели бы вы к себе на ваш боксерский турнир вот эту вот пару?
You're now doing boxing as well, and very recently Fedor Emelianenko said that he wants to do a boxing match with Mirko Krokop. Would you be interested in having that pair box in the UFC promotion?
Those are not the kind of boxing matches that I'm going to be doing. I'm sure there are plenty of people that would love to do that boxing match. I am not one of them.
Это не та пара, которая интересует меня в моей лиге. Я уверен, что многие люди захотят их себе принять, но нет, это не мой бой.
И последний вопрос от меня. Я мечтал его задать на том турнире, где дерется Вероника Харди, но вот как-то не доехать было в Штаты ни разу. Вероника Харди уже в 7-й раз открывает турниры. Она каждый раз в первом бою турниров UFC выступает. А вы можете рассказать, с чем это связано?
I wanted to ask you in the States, but I wasn't able to get into the States. I want to talk about the tournament where Veronica Hardy once again was the opener for the entire event, and this is like the 7th time she's been opening it. Is there a reason why she's always the first fight of the night?
That's a good question. I don't know. Where would he like her to be?
Отличный вопрос. А где ты хочешь, чтобы она дралась? На карте?
Не знаю, ну не 8-й раз в первом бою.
I don't know, but maybe not 8th time the opener of the event.
I will move her just for you, sir.
Специально для тебя подвину ее.
Спасибо большое.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Dana right here. Is there an update on Nasrat Haqparast? Because
yeah, he's good. We literally got it walking through the door. I mean, I don't know if he's good, but he's healthy. He's, he's very upset, but he's healthy.
And I know that you said you'd want to do the rematch between Tom and Cyril.
It's very fresh, but any potential timeline for that? Like maybe January, the kick off the Paramount card?
Yeah, I mean, they're both in shape, other than whatever's wrong with his eye. You know, both guys are not injured, or so as soon as possible.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dana, what about the rule? It's only the second time in a championship fight that we do have a no contest for such thing. We just have to go by the judges and the fighters' will. That's just the way it is. For him to say after 5 minutes, I can no longer continue. What I'm trying to figure out is there different levels of eye pokes? You see what I'm saying?
Nobody sees what you're saying, sir.
It's only up to the fighter to stay whether or not he wants to continue.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is.
Oh, yeah, what am I going to say? Hey, Tom, guess, no, you're going to keep fighting.
Cyril tried to tell him or go toward him, and Jason Arzog said, don't talk to the opponent at that point. So I guess they were trying to figure out to one another.
You can't, just like, you know, I can't make people fight, right? If I want to put together a fight, I can't make people fight. And you definitely can't make somebody continue if they feel they've been injured. Only Tom knows what happened. You know, could he see, couldn't he see, could he continue? Only he knows that.
I appreciate your answer.
Yep.
Thank you.
Дэйна, приветствую.
Yep.
Я здесь. Дэйна? I'm here.
Hi. Yeah, okay.
Yes. Хотелось бы задать вопрос про Александра Волкова. Вот сегодня он победил Жилтона Алмейда довольно близким решением, и многие в комментариях сейчас считают, что таким образом, как будто бы судьи вернули Александру должок за бой с Ганом. Для вас это так выглядело?
I want to ask about the Volkov fight. He won today with a pretty close split decision, and this way, a lot of people in the commentary, a lot of people in the comment section said that maybe this was a here's your victory back for that fight that he was supposed to win against Gan but didn't. So he basically got his whatever he was owed back then. He got it replenished today with his victory.
Start that over for me. What?
This was a very close split decision, right? And it was on the Volkov side. So,
okay.
And then the last split decision that was in Vegas back last year in December, it went the opposite direction. So today you basically gave him, not you, but the judges gave him back what he was owed in December. Do you feel that way?
Do I feel that way? Never even crossed my mind.
Даже не задумался об этом.
Еще если можно...
Are you with that gentleman back there? No, you guys together? Sorry, sir.
Если можно еще вопрос о Волкове. Вот после его прошлого боя с Сирилом Ганом вы к нему подошли и сказали, что его, мягко говоря, ограбили, вы немножко жестче выразились, и что, как я понял, его должен был ждать титульный бой. Почему все-таки дали Сирилу Гану титульник?
One more question about Volkov, if I could. After his split decision loss to Gan in December, you came up to him and in oh so many words said that he was robbed. You said something different, but I'm just going to say that you told him he was robbed. Do you think, could you explain why it was at the end Cyril Gane who ended up getting the title fight as opposed to Volkov, who you yourself thought was robbed the decision?
Well, it doesn't matter what I think. It's the judges. The judges made a decision, just like tonight. And, you know, like I said tonight, I'm glad that the judges gave him the fight. I think he deserved the fight. I think he won. You can't win a fight by not doing anything. You can't just lay on somebody and win a fight. And then Cyril Gane got the title fight because he's the #1 contender.
Ну, как я уже сказал, что я очень рад, что отдали сегодня решение Волкову, потому что нельзя выиграть бой, просто лежа на человеке, ничего не делая. Нужно что-то делать. Поэтому я очень рад, что отдали ему решение. А насчет того, что Cyril Gane получил возможность драться за титул, но он #1 contender, да, он первый, поэтому ему дали.
И последний вопрос от меня. Сейчас понятно, что, скорее всего, организуют незамедлительный реванш Сирилу Гану и Тому Аспиналу, но можно ли сейчас сказать, что следующим точно будет Волков, и ему для этого не нужно будет проводить еще один бой?
For now, we're saying that, of course, you're going to probably rebook the main event that was today, probably rebook it as soon as possible. But after today, can we say that likely Volkov is now the official #1 contender. The victory, whoever wins that is going to fight Volkov.
I have no idea what's going to happen. First of all, I can sit here right now. The fight just got over however long ago. What makes sense is to do the rematch. It makes sense. Sitting here tonight, I say, yeah, that makes sense. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. Anything can happen between now and, when I get him. We're not talking this Tuesday. I go from here to Saudi. I go to Qatar, then Saudi. I'm still here for another 8 or 9 days. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not saying anybody's going to be a #1 contender outside of Cyril Gane. I don't know. But right here, right now, being honest, which I never do this ever, is talk about, what next fight's going to happen. The rematch is what makes sense.
Наверное, то, что сейчас нужно сделать, это, конечно же, дать им возможность все-таки подраться еще раз, переделать это, то, что сегодня не случилось. Я в этот вторник я даже не буду решать, кто будет драться следующим, потому что я еще здесь остаюсь 8 дней, поэтому в этот вторник мы назначать не будем. Пока что, только что закончился бой, из того, что я понимаю, самое то, что вроде бы как должно произойти, это рематч. После этого мы будем смотреть, кто будет контендер #1. Сейчас я не могу сказать. Сейчас Cyril Gane контендер #1.
Unfortunately for Volkov, he won the fight tonight, which I thought he should have, but there's been lots of bad decisions in the UFC. So I'm glad that went that way for him. Unfortunately for him, the main event was a nightmare and, doesn't make him the #1 contender right now.
Для Волкова хорошо то, что он все-таки победил, да, ему дали решение, он победил, это очень хорошо. Что очень плохо для Волкова, это то, что сегодняшний бой, который должен был определить чемпиона, он не случился, не состоялся, поэтому придется ждать. Поэтому у него и хорошее, и плохое сегодня.
Thank you, Dana.
Thank you.
Hello, sir. I would like to ask you, with the Reader defeat last week, is Imavov officially the #1 contender? And if yes, when can this fight happen?
Since the Reader was defeated last week, and will Nasruddin Imavov be the #1 contender officially now that the Reader was deleted?
I have no idea. I have no idea, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right here, I'm going to ask in Russian so he can translate. Вы всегда приезжаете на ивенты, когда, на какой-то рынок, но первый раз приходите, даже если это Fight Night event, а не номерной. Планируете ли вы посетить турнир в Катаре лично?
Whenever we go to a new market, even if it's a fight night, you always come in personally to that event. Are you planning to go to Qatar for the first time?
Yes, I'll be in Qatar too.
Да, обязательно буду.
Разговаривали ли вы с Трампом, потому что недавно в Катаре была ситуация, связанная с ударами?
Have you spoken to Trump because recently there's been some aggravation that's happening with the politics there in Qatar?
He was literally sitting tonight on the runway in Qatar and wouldn't leave the plane. He had the dignitaries from Qatar because he was afraid he wouldn't be able to get the signal off the plane. So he was on the plane watching the fights tonight.
Он сидел сегодня в аэропорту в самолете и смотрел бои, потому что он боялся, что если он выйдет из самолета, там не будет достаточно хороший сигнал Wi-Fi, чтобы посмотреть. Поэтому он сидел в самолете и не выходил, чтобы досмотреть ивент.
В Катаре должен подраться Арман Сарукян. И хотелось бы узнать ситуация в легком дивизионе, какая сейчас. Если он побеждает, подерется ли он за титул? И если да, то когда? Потому что у Илья Топурия, у него уже есть бой какой-то, да, то есть в ближайшее время. То есть у него есть и вариант подраться с Пэдди Пимблетом, у него есть вариант подраться с Ламом Махачевым после того, как он победит Мадалену, да, если он победит Мадалену, да, суперфайт им сделают. И тогда вопрос, да, как долго может оттянуться этот бой, потому что Илья Топурия будет занят очень долго.
In Qatar, we're going to have a main event. Arman's going to be fighting in a lightweight. Will he be the #1 contender if he wins? Because we got the champ, Iliya Topuria, who's already potentially has a fight scheduled. We don't know yet. Also, he's got a lot of options. He might be fighting Paddy Pimblett. He might be going up to the super fight. If Islam wins over Jack Della Maddalena, he might go up and have that super fight. So that means that it's going to be a really long time before we get into lightweight.
We don't know any of this yet either. Once we start to put these fights together, like you're saying, we'll figure that out. Yeah.
Пока не знаю, еще много всего должно произойти. Вот когда мы начнем уже решать, когда мы посмотрим, когда эти бои пройдут, тогда будем понимать, кто с кем будет драться.
And even to predict that now, I mean, that fight has to play out and see who wins and how it goes.
Сейчас раздумывать на том, как это пройдет, мы не можем, потому что тот бой еще не случился с Арманом, поэтому посмотрим, как он подерется, тогда будем решать.
А еще в Катаре также должен подраться Александр Тапури. Соответственно, Илья будет в углу у него, соответственно, там будет и Арман, и Илья. Будут ли какие-то специальные меры предприниматься по безопасности, чтобы их как-то развести, чтобы у них не было никакого конфликта между собой?
And also Alexander, Ilya's older brother, is fighting in Qatar as well. So most likely Ilya's going to be there, probably in his corner. Now we're going to have Ilya there. We're going to have Arman there. Obviously, they're beefing. Is there going to be something done security-wise to keep them separate?
We deal with that every Saturday. So, yeah, we will.
By people. Giving or considering what she did to the organization, was there a reach out for her to come in? Is there a reason why we don't see her as often? And maybe something can be done? I like her so much, and I thought great relationship.
I love her. I have an incredible relationship with her, and obviously she's welcome to any event. She came to a Power Slap event in Vegas, and she's welcome to anything that we have. It's her house. Will always be her house. That's a personal thing for her. It doesn't have anything to do with us or at the UFC. But what was the other question? What was the first question?
Since there was so many mistakes with the refereeing back in Vancouver, is there going to be any kind of like a sit-out period for those refs that are making blatant mistakes?
I mean, that's up to the athletic commission. The athletic commission decides which referees come in and which judges. That's a question you have to ask them. Ask the athletic commission.
About the main event, coming into this fight between the two of them, Cyril was the underdog and Tom the most popular. With the few things we've seen into this fight, I feel like Cyril was doing pretty well. Do you feel the same? And do you feel that he's earned respect so that people would care even more when you make this fight again and the odds would be more equivalent?
Yes. Yes, I agree. I think that, I said earlier, because of the John Jones fight, I think everybody was sleeping on Cyril Gane and sort of wrote him off. And he's right behind me. He's coming in next, so you guys can ask him how he felt. But I feel like, I'm sure in his camp, he was training like an animal for this fight. And it's unfortunate that it ended the way that it did. And yes, I think that there probably will be a lot more interest in the rematch after they saw, he had Tom bloodied up. And, Tom didn't want to continue in the fight. So the rematch is very interesting. What's that? Yeah, as soon as possible. Yep. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Okay. Hi, Cyril. Just right there, in front of you. I said in English, you will translate. Cyril, I see you very emotional. How do you feel? And I have good news. Like Dana said, that you want to rebook this fight as soon as possible. So that's a good point. I think you was winning the first round. What's your reaction about all of this? Do you think you won this round? Do you think you're the better guy? And do you want this fight to get back?
I think we started very well. I think he started very well, but I think I started very well because everybody knows his strategy every time is to start it very hard and surprise his opponent. I think we did very well. We defending a takedown. I touched him. We saw some blood on his nose. It was a really great first round, and that's why, yeah, maybe also I was a little bit disappointed, a little bit sad about this issue, but this is a sport.
Est-ce que tu peux nous faire juste la même réponse en français aussi pour les fans?
Oui. C'était un très bon début de combat. On est rentré comme on voulait rentrer dans le combat. On savait que peut-être le premier round allait être le round le plus dur. Et qu'au fil du temps, on me connaît, au fil du temps, moi je suis toujours de plus en plus à l'aise dans le combat. Donc démarrer un combat comme celui-ci face à un adversaire comme celui-ci, c'était de bon augure. Après, on ne sait pas ce qui aurait pu se passer après. Mais voilà, donc c'est ça qui m'a rendu un petit peu triste aussi. Ça a ajouté un petit peu de la tristesse tout en repensant à tous les sacrifices qu'on a pu faire, etc.
Thank you and good luck for future.
Cyril, toujours en français, qu'est-ce que tu as ressenti quand tu as compris, après un début de combat presque parfait, j'ai envie de dire, qu'est-ce que tu as senti, qu'est-ce que tu as ressenti quand tu as compris que le combat allait s'arrêter? Qu'est-ce qui se passe dans ta tête?
Frustration, énervement, tristesse et retour au calme. Désolé pour tout le monde. Voilà, c'était un peu chronologiquement ce qui s'est passé dans ma tête. J'espérais qu'il allait continuer. Et malheureusement, ici, il ne voyait plus rien. Qui est à la place de son œil? Personne.
I really wanted to continue the fight. First of all, I was very sad. Then I was
at first angry because I don't want him. I don't want from him to stop the fight. After I was disappointed, sad, and after that,
apologetic.
Apologetic, exactly, for the people.
L'image, on l'a bien revue au ralenti. Toi, tu sens que tes doigts vraiment rentrent dans ses yeux et à ce moment-là, tu comprends que ça peut s'arrêter, ou sur le coup, tu te dis non, ça va reprendre parce que c'était pas aussi fort que ça, puis forcément, tu l'as pas fait exprès, quoi.
Oui, non, c'était pas intentionnel. Comme l'arbitre m'a dit, j'ai bien vu, tes mains étaient comme ceci. Mais des fois, tu essaies de repousser quelqu'un. Si ça tombe au niveau de son visage, malheureusement, ça tombe au niveau de ses yeux. Mais c'était pas comme ça, c'était pas intentionnel. Mais personne connaît la gravité de son œil. Moi, je me rappelle du combat face à Derrick Lewis. Quand on prend un doigt dans l'œil, moi, j'ai vu Derrick Lewis pendant presque un round. J'ai vu 2 Derrick Lewis, tu vois ce que je veux dire? Donc, étant donné qu'il a commencé le combat comme ça, et que, imaginons, il a eu autant que ça de gravité, il s'est dit peut-être ça vaut pas le coup de prendre des risques. Voilà, peut-être. C'est ce que je me dis.
Yeah, just translating. So, Cyril, how did you feel about the eye poke? How do you feel when your hands and your fingers touching his face? Did you feel something specific? Cyril responded, no, I didn't feel anything specific. I didn't do it on purpose. And I know what it is to have an eye poke because when I fought Derrick Lewis, I got an eye poke and I was seeing two Derrick Lewis for a full round. So I know how it is. And
one round during that is what the debut of the round and the rest of the round, I saw the two Derrick Lewis. So I'm not gonna say yeah, he's a liar.
Cyril, une dernière question. En 4 minutes 35, vous avez montré que vous étiez bien plus qu'un outsider, bien plus que ça. Maintenant, c'est un peu tôt peut-être pour cette question, mais qu'est-ce que vous voulez pour la suite? Vous voulez remonter tout de suite dans la cage, se refaire une prépa, voir un peu la famille, mais c'est quoi l'état d'esprit, même si c'est un peu prématuré cette question?
Cyril, in 4 minutes and 35 seconds, we have seen you. You're more than a challenger. You're more than an underdog. Now that this day is done, what's next? What are you going to do? Are you take some rest, your family, or go back in the gym?
Profiter de la famille, aller voir la famille, parce que ça fait 3 mois que j'ai pas vu ma famille, que j'ai pas vu ma femme, mes filles. Il y a un peu de tout ça d'ailleurs dans les émotions, hein, tu vois. Bon, c'est compréhensible, c'est rien, c'est la vie. Et non, après pour le reste, je sais pas encore. On verra, on verra. Moi, je suis mon équipe.
First of all, I'm going to take care of myself, see my family, see my wife, see my kids, take some time for me. And then after that, I'll talk to my coach and see when is the rematch, and we'll see what's happening.
Salut Cyril. On est tous un peu déçus par l'issue du combat. Avec le peu de temps que tu as eu dans la cage avec Tom, voilà, tout le monde a vu que tu t'étais bien débrouillé, que tu n'étais pas finalement l'underdog. Dana a souligné aussi le peu de temps que tu as eu pour performer. On a entendu certaines des consignes de ton coach Fernand Lopez qui laissaient penser que tu étais à un niveau d'aisance assez élevé. Quelles étaient les sensations et quels sont les signaux que tu as pu capter? Comment tu t'es senti dans ce combat?
Cyril, we have seen you in the cage for the first round. You were doing good. You were flawless. We have seen your coach give you instructions that you are free to do what you want in the cage. So how is it in this state of flow? How did you feel?
Bon appétit, le King. Yeah, that's good to laugh. Du coup, je sais même plus. Oui, donc on a très bien commencé. Je me suis senti très bien. Je pense à partir de la moitié du premier round, j'ai commencé à sentir que j'arrivais dans mon terrain. Ok, d'accord. Ok, je commençais vraiment à comprendre ce qui se passait. Parce que forcément, quand on commence très fort, on sait très bien, j'étais très attentif, il aime bien commencer très fort. Et j'ai vu qu'en fait, au final, à la moitié du round, ça allait le faire. Après, on ne connaît pas l'avenir, comme je dis, mais j'étais très confiant à partir de vraiment la moitié du premier round, j'étais très confiant.
So I started the fight very well. I know he loves to start very fast. And so I was touching him, I was, defending the takedown. And at the middle of the first round, I was feeling myself in a state of flow. I was starting to understand very well what was happening. And then I felt like I would end this fight.
Fort de cette confiance engrangée. Ah, t'as pas fini, pardonne-moi.
Dana, juste avant, a dit que vu que vous étiez encore en forme, c'était une éventualité d'essayer de rebooker le fight aussi vite que possible. On sait qu'on t'a vu très ému dans la cage par rapport à tous les sacrifices. Tu as dit juste avant aussi que c'était peut-être un peu trop tôt, qu'il fallait d'abord que tu rentres voir ta famille avant d'envisager potentiellement un retour. À chaud comme ça, est-ce que tu penses viser un retour plutôt rapide ou reprendre ton temps?
Cyril, we saw that you had a lot of emotion after this fight, and Dana told that we could potentially rebook this fight very quickly. What do you want to do?
C'est la team qui va décider. Moi, je suis la team. C'est aussi simple que ça.
My coach and my team will be deciding, and I will follow what they dictate.
One last question.
Yeah. On a entendu aux commentaires Fernand Lopez te réclamer un coup de genou sauté, du panache. Est-ce que si ce combat avait repris, on t'aurait vu flamboyant? Ce n'est plus le Cyril Gane qui est dans la gestion, c'est le Cyril Gane qui avait envie de terminer. Est-ce qu'après 4 minutes de combat, ça peut suffire pour avoir des enseignements d'ici 3-4 mois?
Cyril, we saw that you were really flawless. Even your coach asked for a flying knee in the middle of the round. Is it something that we can see and expect in the future, a Cyril Gane that is really at ease and less in the calculation?
Oui, j'allais répondre en anglais. Non, c'est bien sûr, on était prêt à tout pour ce combat-là, on était prêt à absolument tout. On était préparé à tout faire. C'est-à-dire que oui, on a beaucoup défendu la lutte, oui, on a beaucoup à travailler sur ce point-là, mais on a toujours travaillé mes points forts et on sait très bien que les jambes, que les genoux, que les retournés, que ce que tu veux, on sait très bien que c'est mon dada. Et donc on était très à cheval aussi là-dessus.
I was ready for absolutely everything, for the wrestling, for the grappling, but also for front striking. And I was working on also a lot of good things that I used to show and I used to like, and the creativity and the striking is my thing, and it's absolutely something that I wanted to show off today.
Thank you, everyone.
French translate. Mackenzie, right? Congratulations. I feel like this has been a long time coming. We've talked about even since your debut, even when you were in LFA, it's when were you going to fight for a belt? When were you going to get the belt? So now that you do finally have the belt, I guess, and the fight's over, how are you feeling?
I feel a little sore, but I feel amazing. You know, I think we let it all out there we really gave all our best to try and get the fight. But yeah, it's like a dream come true. But I don't know, every time I reach a goal, I always make a new one. So I'm already like thinking about getting back in the gym, getting better, and I know I have a huge target on my back now, so I want to make sure I'm ready for what's coming next.
In terms of how the fight played out, especially at media day, you were saying, I don't think either of us want to keep this fight standing. It ended up being a pretty predominantly fought on the ground. You were doing a lot of damage from the bottom, though. So did that fight against Jailton and Volkov play any factor in that? Because I don't know if you saw it. It was kind of similar. And how do you think the fight played out compared to expectations?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I thought that her strategy would be to be striking, kind of how she did, and then try and get a takedown near the end of each round and steal the rounds. So that was what I imagined their strategy would be. I feel like I stayed kind of controlling the cage. I feel like I was landing more shots. And we kind of felt like that we could let loose on our striking, because if we did fall on the ground, we are comfortable on the ground. You know, obviously, there's always that risk of getting the round stolen from you being on the bottom. But I really just try to be like dangerous on the ground and like attacking the whole time, like trying to get a submission. When I saw that she was kind of really just stalling, I tried to like just kick her off of me and get back up again. And if I felt like that she was just kind of holding, just really try and get my, I don't know, not ground and pound because you're on the bottom, but, you know, get my damage while I was on the bottom. You know, my elbow's all like blowing up right now.
After the fight, you both stood and, you know, raised your hand in victory. Were you confident that you were going to be the one to leave with the belt?
I mean, no. I mean, not that I wasn't confident. I feel like I did everything I could do with the fight, you know, but it's the judges, you know, and it's like I felt like I could win. I felt like the fight could be mine, but I wanted to get a knockout, and I wanted to be like a champion with or a submission or a knockout, so no one could say anything, you know. And it's like with MMA and the critics and just the fans, you know, it's always going to be like that, you know. If you leave it for the judge's decision, it could go either way. You never know.
You said now you have a target on your back. You had mentioned Tatiana Suarez as a possible first challenger. Is that the name you want, or are you just going to let the UFC kind of figure it out?
I mean, I don't know how much say I have in being a champion now, you know what I mean? I don't know how much my word and my decisions get into play, but I'm here to defend it. So whoever gets sent to me, you know, I'll be ready for it. So I don't know Weili, but I would definitely like to just fight Tatiana. I think maybe she gets one more fight in, you know, but yeah, I want to get it. I want to have a couple more fights with some grapplers.
How does it feel to now you no longer have to be chasing someone? You don't have to look up the rankings now. You are the one that they all have to come to.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they say it's hard to get the belt, but it's even harder to stay at the top, you know what I mean, and defend it. So I'm definitely prepared for, you know, all the hard work that has to go in. This is really like what's the hard part starts from now, you know what I mean? And but I'm excited. I'm excited whoever is going to come. I think that that's what's going to make me evolve so much as a fighter, just like a grappler coming, a striker, and all these people studying me and trying to, you know, and I have to redo myself every single fight, and just so they can never find the right way to beat me.
And then just last one for me. Talk to us about the moment we saw you hug your dad in there, and then you brought your daughter in there. Two people that you've brought to they were there for your almost entire journey. So talk to me about that moment.
Yeah, I mean, hugging my dad was just like, you know, I really am hoping I can make him proud. You know, I try to stay my whole jiu-jitsu career trying to make him proud, and you know, being here this whole time, he's like, go get what's yours, go get what's yours, go get what's yours. He just kept reminding me that, you know, and he's just always believing me, and so it just kind of felt really good to just hug him and be like, hey, we did it together. And I'm only in fighting because of him, you know. Probably if I didn't have a dad as a fighter and a martial artist, maybe I wouldn't be into martial arts, you know. So this is definitely part of this win is his, this belt is his, just like mine. And then obviously having my daughter there, she was like so happy. She was like holding back tears, you know, emotion inside of her. But yeah, to kind of just gone through learning to be an MMA fighter, learning how to punch, going through pregnancy, motherhood, you know, divorce, like normal, not normal, but things that people go through in life, and also trying to be at the highest level of a fighter if possible. You know, it's like it's been a long run and a lot of adversity, and yeah, she is my biggest motivation. So I'm really happy, and it was amazing for me to have her there by my side.
Did she have a good time in Abu Dhabi?
Oh, she loves Abu Dhabi. It's ice cream every day, and you know, the hotel, it's amazing, kids club and the pool and camels and hawks and falcons, and she loves it.
Hi, Mackenzie. Congratulations on your win. We talked in the build-up to the fight about what it means, how you felt you were destined to win this title in Abu Dhabi, given your long history with the city. How does it feel? How does it feel to know that the stars have aligned for you?
It feels amazing. I feel like, yeah, I mean, I got to a point where it's like, I don't want to let destiny down right now. You know what I mean? I'm like in the middle of the fight, and I'm just thinking like, man, this is close. You know, she's getting these takedowns. Like, you know, I didn't feel like I was in like danger. You know, if you take your mind into like a fight mindset. But, you know, I didn't want to lose a fight because of, like, getting outpointed, you know what I mean? So I just really, I try to be, like, touching. I would like to get a knockout and stuff like that. But, you know, it came to then I'm like, yeah, the lines are destined for, like, everything's destined for me to win this. So I'm not gonna lose it now. I got to do my part, you know, and I can't just let destiny do everything all by itself. I got to do my part of it, too, and just really put everything on the line for it.
Congratulations for your win. I know your daughter is young, but you said that she's excited. How much of it she understands, like what is your achievement, or she thinks that you have just won a fight? Just if you can break it down a little more for us.
Oh, she thinks it's like the cool. I think she thinks I'm like a superhero. You know, she'll tell the kids even like around the hotel. You know, she's like, "Oh, did you know my mom's a UFC fighter?" You know, and she really just thinks it's like the coolest thing. Even like at the playground at home in California, she's like, I'm hearing her tell the kids like, "I'm gonna go tell my mom she's a fighter." You know, like she wants to tell the kids that she's gonna go and tell me what they're doing if they're treating her bad or something. You know, so she thinks it's really cool. Yeah, she definitely knows. She's been telling me she sees me going to training. There's like every day, you know, sometimes she's like, "Mom, can you just stay home? You know, can we just like relax on the couch, you know?" And I gotta go to training and I gotta like go and more. And she's just like, "Okay, train hard so you can get lots of belts and then you can be the best in the world." So she definitely knows sacrifice and reward and how much we've been working hard for this.
And one more from me. Abu Dhabi seems to be a lucky charm for you. Would you say that?
Yes, 100%. Abu Dhabi. And I'm the first woman to ever win a title in Abu Dhabi. So Abu Dhabi has a special place in my heart. And I feel like Abu Dhabi, I made history for Abu Dhabi too, you know. And yeah, I want to come back all the time. Thank you guys.